That Obscure Object is a 1977 comedy drama film directed by Louis Buñuel based on the 1898 novel The Woman and the Puppet by Pierre Louis. Mathieu, a middle-aged affluent Frenchman, and Conchita, a young, penniless and attractive flamenco dancer from Sevilla, played by Carol Bouquet and Angela Monilla, have a tumultuous and occasionally violent romance. The two actresses appear in separate situations and are not just physically but also temperamentally different. The majority of the movie is a flashback narrated by Mathieu. Mathieu is traveling by rail from Sevilla to Paris. As the film begins, he is attempting to remove himself from Conchita, his young girlfriend. Mathieu's train is about to leave when he notices a battered and bandaged Conchita following him. He pours a bucket of water over her head from the train. He expects this to stop her, but she manages to slip abroad. Mathieu's fellow passengers in the cabin witness his obnoxious behavior. A mother and her small daughter, a judge who happens to be a relative of Mathieu's cousin, and a dwarf psychotherapist are among them. They inquire as to why he would do such a thing, and he then goes into detail about the troubled relationship with Conchita. The story is set against a backdrop of left-wing terrorist bombs and shootings. Conchita, who claims to be 18 but appears to be older, has made a promise to stay a virgin until she marries. She teases Mathieu with sexual promises, but she never lets him fulfill his yearnings. She goes to bed with him wearing a tightly laced canvas corset that he is unable to untie, making sexual intercourse impossible. Mathieu is frustrated and perplexed by Conchita's antics, which drive the couple to split up and rejoin several times. Mathieu eventually finds Conchita at a Sevilla nightclub, performing naked for tourists. He becomes enraged at first. He eventually forgives her and buys her a home. Conchita refuses to let Mathieu in at the gate, telling him that she despises him and that kissing and caressing him makes her nauseous in a climatic sense shortly after moving into the house. She then appears to initiate sexual intercourse with a young man in front of Mathieu, despite the fact that he walks away without witnessing the deed. Later that night, he is kidnapped and held at gunpoint in his automobile. Conchita tries to reconcile with Mathieu after this, claiming that the sex was staged and that her boyfriend is actually a homosexual acquaintance. Mathieu, on the other hand, beats her during the explanation, resulting in her bandaged and battered state seen earlier in the film. Conchita arrives from concealment and drops a pail of water on Mathieu just as the other train passengers look to be satisfied with the story. When the train arrives at its destination, though the pair appears to reconcile once more, they walk arm in arm after getting off the train, taking in the sights of Madrid. Later, loudspeaker in a Paris mall declare that a weird alliance of extreme groups is planning terrorist acts to spread chaos and uncertainty in a society. Several right-wing organizations are planning a counter-offensive according to the notice. As the pair continues their trip, they come see a seamstress patching a bloody nightgown in a shop window. They start squabbling just before a bomb goes off, killing them both.